All righty. Melissa Johnson here. Like, sounds a little weird. Um, still having a little bit of technical issues. Hopefully it'll fix itself. But right now we're just gonna get to go with it. Okay. So today we're on the second episode of Melissa Loves to Talk. Okay, I don't have a script, but I am going to try to reach some stuff that I wrote notes on. I don't want to do a script because I don't want it to be I want it to be more like it's just me. So we're going to just hit the points and I'm going to just kind of just say some things. Okay, so today is Friday, November 28th, and this is the second episode of Melissa Loves to Talk. Okay, sorry. The mic sounds a little weird. We're trying to fix that. Is that better? That's better. Okay. That's much better. Thank you. Colin, he's my helper here. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is just that we are in a spiritual battle. That's everything that's going on right now. If anyone thinks it's something different, it's not. That's what it is. If you think about everything that we're doing, it leads us back to the things that it says in the Bible. So we have the Muslims invading, and that is the demonic that's attacking us, because they like to just come against Christians, honestly. I know people don't think that's what it is, but when they say they hate America, they hate Christianity. So we're gonna just focus on that first. The first thing I want to talk about is there are 400, I believe, Muslims that are in some kind of government seat, either in a state or in the federal. So we know we have a couple in the House, and then we have multiple that are in just some city and some state government. 400 is a lot. That means they have a lot of pull. If we want to say pull, we want to say authority, we want to say influence, however you want to put it. But it's not really good for this country. So if anybody thinks that they're just trying to be welcomed, they say death to America. So that means they are not trying to be welcomed. They're trying to come against Christians. That's what their goal is. There's no other thing that they're trying to do. It's just come against us. This nation is a Christian nation. I did a video, I think yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, talking about how this country was started and that it is a Christian nation, even if people want to say, no, it's not. No, it's not. This country was founded on Christian principles. And anything that comes here, there's fine if you come here. We don't want to say you're not allowed. We just want to tell you that you have to assimilate. You can't just try to take over our beliefs. I would never go to another country and try to take over somebody's beliefs. Like if I tried to go into, say, Italy, and I think they're mostly Catholic, which again, that's their business. But I wouldn't go there and try to take over the Catholic religion. I may tell people, what I believe, but that doesn't mean I'm going to try to take over and knock out all the Catholics. Um, that's not what we should be doing. We're there. It's a privilege to go to someone else's country. That's not a right. We don't have a right to just walk up in somebody's country and take over their culture. So we don't expect people to do that when they come here. Is you come in, you're welcome if you come here legally and you assimilate with our culture, not try to take it over. And unfortunately, that's what the Muslims are doing. They are trying to take over this country. If you watch videos after videos, they say it. They literally say they are trying to have the Muslim religion in every household. Okay. I am not doing the Muslim stuff. I'm not doing Sharia law. I am a free woman. I live in the United States of America, and I don't have to live that way. I don't have to wear a burqa. I don't have to be treated less than. My husband does not treat me that way right now, and I would never expect him to treat me that way, and I would not put up with it. So I'm not going to change because they think that they're going to come and assimilate. That's not what's going to happen. Or they're not even assimilating. They're just trying to take over. And we are not going to stand for that. At least I'm not going to stand for that because I'm not going to live like that. And I don't want my daughter to live that way or my cousins or my nieces. You know, I don't want them to live that way. So I don't expect people to think that's okay. You live in America, you have rights. And you aren't born here, you don't come here and just automatically have the rights of American citizens. That's not something that is the truth. Like people think you come here, you have due process. You have to be an American citizen to have due process. If you come in this country illegally, then you broke our laws and you aren't legal, so you don't get constitutional rights. Constitutional rights are for Americans. So we're going to put you out. Just so you know, we're sick and tired of all the illegals coming in here and trying to change our country, trying to mooch off of our country and trying to take over our country. We're just not doing it anymore. Everyone's sick of it. I know I sure I am. I don't know if everyone else is, but the people that I talk to that are close to me are sick of it. And the reason why the economy is bad is, yes, inflation, but it's because of illegals. They're getting all of our benefits. They get free, free, free. Who pays for free stuff? Taxpayers, you and me. We're paying for all the things that they're getting for free. So then the cost of living goes up because they're getting all this free stuff. And our taxes don't cover all the free stuff. Okay, so that's a economic lesson, how that works. Everyone doesn't realize that money doesn't grow on trees. Trees do make money, but the money doesn't hang off the trees. It has to come from somewhere. And if you think something's free, it's never free. Nothing's free. Someone's paying for it. And so if you think it's free, it isn't free. Even when you order something and it says it's free, you have to pay for shipping, which makes it not free. So that's the main thing that we need to be getting is the Muslims are trying to take over this country and they're not assimilating. So we don't want them here. We need to get rid of all of them, even if they're here legally. Get rid of them. They are out to rob, kill, destroy, whatever the enemy does. That's them. That's what they're trying to do. So we want them out. Every single one. because they say they're not trying to do that, I don't believe them. So, unless you know personally that they're living nice and peacefully and they're not trying to say we need to be Sharia law, we need to be Islamic, whatever is the situation, I just don't believe it. Feel like they're gonna still keep doing it. So we need to just get them out and get our country back. That's where it comes to, is we just need our country back. Right now, our country doesn't belong to us. It's everybody but us. This mic really sounds weird. Okay. So yeah, right now we are just in a battle that's spiritual. So I'm going to keep saying that because that is what I'm trying to make you understand. It's not a physical battle. It may become a physical battle, but right now it is spiritual. Every single thing. If you look at what everyone's doing, it is against the Bible. You want to look up transgender, you want to look up Black Lives Matter, you want to look up Muslims, you want to look up men and women's sports. You could just keep going on and on and on. And it all leads to everything against the Bible. The Bible says God created man and woman. Yeah, man and woman. And that's it. He didn't make a mistake and put you in the wrong body. He didn't accidentally make you furry. It's just crazy and nonsense. Like, I didn't ever think we'd be here. Like, when I hear things on the news, I feel like we're on like Twilight Zone. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's real. Every time I hear something, I'm like, this is not real. This has got to be fake. So then I look it up and it's real. And so I just know that we need to be praying and we need to be really doing spiritual warfare, because that's all it comes down to, is constantly working in prayer and talking about the truth, because I think that is a lot of the problem too, is the church is just sitting and acting like they don't have a say so, they can't do anything about it. We can do a lot about it. Number one, pray. Number two, speak out. Number three, vote. That's the biggest thing we can do, is vote. You need to get out and vote for every election, not just the president. We have city councils, we have board of elections, we have the schools, we have mayor, governor, we have midterms, which is our Congress. We have so many elections, and I'll be honest, the poorest turnout is the church. And that is what we need to be doing more than anything, is voting. Voting for our principles and our conservative views. And that is why this country is going the way it is, because people don't turn out to vote. If Trump's not on the ticket, nobody goes out and votes. Look what happened, just this month. 12% of people voted. 12%. I could see 50. Okay, 50 I would take, but 12, some counties 20. 20 is still awful. We need 80. Okay, 20 don't vote. But at least if we have 80, then we can be like, okay, that's majority, well over majority. So then we're probably going to win. But right now, when we're having 20% of people going out and voting, we're not going to win. We're not going to win because guess who shows up to vote for everything? The Democrats, who stay together no matter what. And even though they have crappy policies, they stick together and they keep voting the crappy policies. So we have got to really get it together and show up. And go out and you can protest. Like I've been to protests for multiple things, not just going out there and trying to wave my Trump flag so everybody votes. I've been to drag queen story hours. I've went to pride parades and protested. I've been to a lot of protests and it was just so people hear the truth. It's not about being violent. It's being out so people can hear the truth. Oh, and I went to a life protest, showing that how life starts and how precious life is. So I've been to different kinds, but I have been to quite a good thing for voting. But we need to just get out and speak truth. That's the main thing. Speak truth, because truth sets you free. So when you don't believe a certain thing, it's probably because you never heard the truth. You watch CNN, NBC. I don't even know, they keep changing the names of them. But any mainstream media, you're hearing lies. You're not really hearing truth. I mean, honestly, sometimes Fox, they don't always tell you some truth, but we need to get out and we need to be speaking truth. That's the main thing that the church needs to be doing. We need to hear about Jesus. Jesus saves. Jesus sets us free. Jesus is the truth, the way, the truth, the way, and the life. Sorry, I said truth twice. But that is what we need to be doing. We need to be getting out and doing what the church is supposed to be doing. That's the main thing that's going on in this country right now, is the church is sat back. I'm trying to remember what this podcaster said earlier. It was like, I think it was like your church bubble. You're just sitting there and listening to your church music and watching your church shows and have no idea what's going on in the world around you, in your own neighborhood. You don't know who lives in your neighborhood. Anyone could live in your neighborhood. You have no idea. You're just in your little church bubble. And we need to be getting out, and we need to be not be in the world, but be in the world, to speak truth. Not to be necessarily living in the world, but being in the world enough so we could be speaking truth. And that is what we need to be doing right now. Sorry, my phone's dinging and I'm just trying to check it and make sure it's not important. Okay, sorry about that. I just want to make sure my kids are traveling and I just want to make sure they're okay. So I've touched the Muslims. I touch praying. And we need to be ready. So ready is a couple different things. Number one, praying gets you ready. Seeking the Lord gets you ready. Stocking up gets you ready. Knowledge gets you ready. That's the main thing. My people die because of lack of knowledge. So that is what we need. We need knowledge. We need to be doing research. We need to be looking at what's really going on and not just sitting in our church bubbles. So I'm going to be honest, since about 2020, I have started stocking up, getting emergency things. So I have like emergency radio, I have an emergency lantern, I have lots of flashlights, lots of batteries, emergency food. I have lots of emergency food because they were running a great big sale when I bought it. And so I've been trying to prepare just in case. And if nothing ever happens, that's okay. But if it does, I'll be prepared. So that's what you always want to do. You want to be prepared for anything. You never know. In 2020, we had a tornado here. It didn't hit our house, but we lost electricity for 4 days. We never thought about that. Like, what do we do when the electricity goes out for 4 days? And so that made me think about it. I was like, oh, okay, well, we have lights and stuff like that. But I was like, okay, what do we do when our refrigerator is not working? What are we going to do with our food? Now, our freezer stayed frozen the whole time, which I couldn't believe. It was frozen the last day. I think on day number 4, you could start seeing it was starting to thaw out a little bit, but we didn't lose anything. All our food was frozen. We threw all our cold stuff into coolers with ice, but that was 4 days. That wasn't 10, 12, a month. It wasn't a long period of time. So we need to know what we can do if the power goes out for 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 2 months. We need to be prepared for that. A lot of people buy generators because you never thought of it. And then it happened. Everybody's out rushing to get generators. So generators are a great thing to have. We don't have one, but we probably should have one because you never know. And so being prepared is so many different things. So spiritually prepared, physically prepared, so many different things. And then I have the National Guard. So if anyone pays attention, they know what happened in DC. And honestly, it just comes back to Muslims again. The guy apparently that shot the 2 National Guard was here seeking asylum. It was the great debacle that happened in 2021. That's how he got here. He did get asylum, which I feel 2 different ways about that. I'm like, well, I understand you're leaving your country. That's awful. But just because you're here seeking asylum doesn't mean you're going to do a good thing. So that's the problem with that. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But I'll be honest, at this point, I feel like we can't take anybody else in. We need to get all these illegals out, people that don't love this country out. And then maybe we can start letting people in. But right now, I say get everybody out. They need to go because we need to worry about America. We need to worry about our American citizens that were born here or came here the right way, that love our customs, that love our country, that pay taxes. You want all these things that help society, help this country to get better. We don't want all these things coming in here that is not American. If you're not waving American flag, you don't belong here. My American flag's out front all year. It's hanging from the side of my house. This behind me is just a prop because it's normally just a blanket here. But I have lots of American flags. So the one that's outside is a waving all the time because I love America. I thank God every day that I'm here in America because I have luxuries that other places would not. I'm a woman, and in other countries, I would have no rights. And I thank God that I'm here and I have equal rights. I'm treated fairly. People want to say that women don't get treated fairly. In general, they do not. In sports, I mean, they do. Sorry. In general, they do. In sports, they do not. This men playing women's sports is out of control. Men are genetically stronger than women. Women are stronger in different ways, but men physically are stronger than women. We should not be competing against men. They're going to beat us almost every single time, especially boxing, basketball. What was it? The world's strongest woman was a man. Okay, of course he's going to beat a woman. He's a man. He's not a transgender woman. He's a man. He was born a man. He's got genetics. His DNA is a man. He's going to beat a woman every single time. What I do find very amazing is that he only won by like a point or something. So that's pretty impressive for the woman. Wish that she wouldn't have lost because she should have won. So this is where we are. What can we do? I said pray. I said go out and speak. I said vote. The main thing is I'm going to say pray. Always pray. And protesting means peacefully protesting. You're going to go out, you're going to have a sign, you may have a little microphone, and you're just going to say, life begins at conception. Life begins at conception. Sorry, I stuttered a little bit. I am live. Sorry. But life begins at conception. Men should not be playing in women's sports. Marriage is one man, one woman. Whatever your thing that you're protesting. And that's okay. That's still peaceful. You're not asking for any violence. You're not doing anything violent. You're there. That's your constitutional right. But when you start hitting people, throwing stuff at people, spraying people with mace, or what have other people done? I'm trying to think. Tase people, shoot people, stab people, throw bricks at people or cars, or break windows, or all these things that were happening not that long ago, probably still happening. I try not to listen to it. You're not peacefully protesting at that point. You are rioting, just so you know the difference. Rioting is violent, not mostly peaceful. If you are hurting people, if you are breaking things, you are not peaceful in any way, shape, or form. So don't let anybody tell you any different. Peaceful is I'm standing with a sign and I'm saying, Jesus loves you. That's peaceful. That's the difference. Just so people know. The right, conservatives, MAGA, we're not violent. We show up with our signs, maybe our bullhorns, and just say what God bless America, America first, MAGA rules, whatever we want to say is what we do. I've never been to a Trump rally or any protests that was violent from the right. I have been out when I was at a Stop the Steal protest and people threw trash at me, people spit on me, people gave me the finger, people cursed me out, and we just stood there. And we had our signs and we said, Jesus loves you, or whatever. We were not violent at all, even though we were getting spit on, trash thrown at us, and vulgar stuff said to us. I've been to lots of Trump rallies, not one thing violent. And there was thousands and thousands of people. No one ever got violent, or at least not us. But that's not the way we're perceived. Violence is on both sides. That's not true. At least I've never seen it. I want someone to show evidence. Can I see a time when MAGA people were violent and not J6? That was not MAGA. That was violent. Someone that was killed was MAGA, not killed by MAGA. So MAGA is not violent. J6 is not, and even if it is, it's one thing. I can name at least 25 things that the left has done that was violent. So you're going to say one thing, 25. Who is violent? I'm going to say not MAGA. Not MAGA. We are peaceful. We want peace. We want to see Jesus's love. That's what we want. That's all we want. That's all I want. I don't want people to get stabbed on the subway, burnt alive on the subway, robbed, raped, whatever. I don't want to see any of that. I want to see us all get along. Even if we have differences, we're going to, of course, never agree 100% with anyone. I don't ever agree 100% with anybody. And that's okay. That is completely okay. We can have a difference of opinion and still get along, still love each other, still live peacefully. I can tell you there's not one person, even someone that is completely MAGA. Completely a MAGA. You're still going to have some kind of something that you don't agree with. Somebody said this and I don't think that. And that's fine. We're supposed to have disagreements because we are not clones. I'm a different person than my neighbor. I'm a different person than anybody in my family, honestly. I'm definitely different than anybody in my family. But we can get along and have differences of opinion. You know, like some people in my family think that we should just pay taxes and just suck it up. I think that we should minimize taxes because the government can pay for some stuff without our tax money because there's so much tax money that's just sitting there or it's in their pocket. So we need to not be paying all the taxes. Say where they're using it for the roads, they're using it for the schools. Let me tell you, the roads around here are awful. They're not using it for the roads. Kids around here can't spell, can't read, don't know how to multiply, divide. It's not being used for the schools. Oh, maybe it is. For the luncheons. Let me see. Teachers' vacations, I hear. All different things like that. But nothing for the students. So I don't know what they're doing with this tax money. Guess what? We can stop paying taxes for that. Cut the taxes because it's not going to the schools and it's not going to the roads. The only roads that get fixed around here is the highway. The highway right where I live, they're working on 24 and 75 every other year. They'll fix it, they'll tear it up, start all over again. Ever since we've lived here for 13 years, it never stops. The side roads, you're going to get a flat tire probably because there's holes in it. It's bumpy, it's uneven, but that's what our tax dollars are supposed to pay for, the roads. I don't think so. So there, we could definitely cut some taxes. If you're not going to use it for the roads, I would love to have it back in my pocket. I will have some a little bit more money to buy groceries, pay my light bill. You know, there's other things that the money can be used for if you're not using it for the roads. And let's see what else. Some things that people don't agree with me. Oh, Trump. So my family pretty much all love Trump, but they'll say, "Oh, Trump shouldn't have said that." That's my favorite. Why not? First Amendment says we can say it. He is speaking truth that people are too afraid to say. I love everything he says. Even the things that are like, maybe that's not really the way I would say it, but I love it anyway. I love it anyway because it's like you are not being bought, number one, because you're speaking about everyone. I mean, you just put everybody out. I love that. Cold, hard facts. That's what I like. Blunt to the point. It's never beating around the bush. So I do have disagreements with my family because they'll be like, "Oh, he's the president. He shouldn't say that." Why can't he? Why can't he say it? I could say it. If I can say it, why can't he? So I disagree with that, but I don't get into an argument about it. I just say, "Oh, I love what he says. Everything he says, he nukes everybody. He just puts him on blast. I love it." And trying to think of some more stuff that I don't get along with my family about. I don't know. We argue about the economy a lot because a lot of people don't understand the economy. And I'm just learning some things. Like I know how supply and demand works, which have learned a little bit more about supply and demand and stuff like that. But a lot of people just are like, "I thought Trump was going to bring the prices down." He's one person and he can't force people to lower the prices, unfortunately. I wish that's the way it worked. And he just said, "Okay, a barrel of gas is $50, which means our gas should be $2.20 a gallon." That's a rough estimate. I don't know the exact, but that's what it probably should be, is about $2.20 a gallon, rough estimate. Around here, it keeps going up. So it'll be 240, 242, 250. It'll go back down to 240 something. Goes back and forth. I live in like on the Tennessee Georgia line, and that's where the gas pretty much stays. Here and there, it might jack up. I think last week it was like 259. That's the highest I've seen in a while. So it just depends, but that's about where the gas stays. Uh, Pretty decent, I would say. I remember when it was 349, 369. This time last year, I think that's about what it was. 329, 369, 379. And then also the economy, people are like, oh, why are houses so high? They're getting higher instead of going down. A lot of that is we got to get the illegals out. People don't understand that. People think it's just, we just say, poof, it's lower. So we do kind of not get along about that because they don't understand. Like the illegals have hurt this country so bad. Like it has just devastated this country. I don't even know how to explain that we have, they keep changing the numbers because they keep finding more. But I'm going to say 20 to 40 million illegals that they know of that are in this country. That means they're getting free stuff that tax dollars are paying for. That hurts the economy because they're not putting it back into the economy by paying taxes. Oh, and by the way, most of those people send the money back to their country, which means they're not even putting it back into the economy by spending it here. So they're not going to Walmart and spending it at Walmart. They're sending, someone said like 50 to 60% of what they bring in income wise, they're sending back to their country instead of putting it into America. Like maybe if they would send 20, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying is that means at least 80% be going back into our country instead of only 40% or 30%, sometimes 20 that's going back into our country. So we need to get them out. And that would help the economy because then all the free stuff would stop. The tax dollars would go to paying our debt down or paying for the roads. I mean, the things that they're supposed to pay for, not for all the free stuff. Like people get, when they come here, they were getting 15, 20, $30,000 on debit cards. There's people in this country that don't make that a year. And they're getting a debit card with $20,000, $30,000 on it. And your rent's free. And you get EBT. So literally you're making more money than the person that's paying the taxes to pay for it. So that hurts the economy. What else hurts the economy? Oh, all the people that steal our money in the government that want to steal the FEMA money or trying to think of all the things that have come out in the last couple weeks. Well, of course, I said already, but the teachers were using the money to go on vacation. So that all these things hurt the economy because the money's not going to the correct places. And so now where are we getting the money to pay for all these things? We're not. So then the prices go up because we think if we make it higher, people won't buy it. I don't really know the concept of that. I'm learning. I feel like every day I learn something new, which is a good thing. You're supposed to learn something new every day. And I feel like I have. Every day I feel like I've learned something new. I listen to lots of podcasters and they teach me something. I actually love it because then I can share my knowledge. And let's see. My chat's not working. So if anyone's messaging me to chat or comment, I don't see anything. So I'm hoping that I'm not missing anyone, but it's not working. Going on my actual phone to see if I can see anything. But okay. So I don't see anything, so that's good. I guess not good because I was hoping since I could actually see my comments today that somebody would comment. But it is what it is. Anyway, so my plan, I didn't talk about this the other day because of all the technical problems we were having. My plan is to have my podcast on Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as close as to 5 o'clock I can get it. Again, this is pure grassroots. My microphones was like $50. I have a laptop. That's it. And so if I could get it to work, yay. If I can't, I don't know what to do. I can probably try to use my phone if I had to. I can be live on my phone. I do that. I do post a video every morning. It's a little devotional. If you have not seen that, I post it every morning. It's on Facebook, Rumble, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Every morning. Besides Sundays, I don't usually get on Sundays because I'm getting ready for church. I have to be to church at 8:30 in the morning. So I'm usually just getting ready for church. Sorry, that's my dog, and I can't get him to stop barking. So I do that every morning. It's right now we're doing I Am With You. We're on day 18 was today or 19. I think it was 19, sorry. So when that's finished, I'll be doing another one for 30 days. If anyone is interested in watching those, you can go back. They're posted on the things I said that I posted them. This is live on Facebook and live on YouTube right now. I couldn't get Rumble to work, so Rumble's not working. But I will post it on Rumble in case you'd rather watch it on Rumble. My podcast, just the words, so just my voice, will actually be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and I think we got it on Prime Audio or whatever that is. I'm going to look into iTunes and see if I can post it on there. But as of right now, that's what I have going on. And I don't remember if I said this the other day, but the Lord set all this up. It was not me. This is not something I would ever think to do in my life, is make videos and do a podcast. My husband said that yesterday. He's like, I know this was not you because you're not a person that wants the focus on you. And I really don't want the focus on me. I want the focus on God. And that is why I'm doing this, because I want people to know God and look to God and trust God. And that's the purpose of my podcast, not to put the focus on me. And I said, like, Shepherd left the 99 to find the one, which was me. And I want even if just one person is touched by my videos, then I've done what I try to do. And that's really my heart. I'm not here to be some big celebrity. If I get to be, hey, of course I'll take it. I've lived a humble life, barely getting by, literally scraping for my whole life. So, hey, if I can make it to be somebody, great. If I'm just here just to give you advice, I'll do that too. I will always take comments from people and I can talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's why it's called Melissa Loves to Talk. It's not specific. It's going to be whatever is going on in the world, anything that's just touching my heart, anything that I feel people need to hear. It's going to just be random and may not be like any other podcast you've ever heard. I love it. If anybody knows me, they'll say, Melissa, you're not like anybody I know. So that's perfect for me. Just because I'm very blunt, I'm to the point, I tell it like it is. And that's what this podcast is going to be. And so that I figure I'd tell you that just so you know what you're going to be listening to. I think there's going to be days that I'm getting real, very intimate, probably share a lot of things about myself that are makes me vulnerable, and that's okay. Because that means somebody needed to hear that. And I don't remember also if I said this on Monday is the Lord told me that he was going to use my pain to help women, and I'm hoping that's what this does. Um I've been through a lot in my life, and I can hopefully use it to steer someone closer to God. That's my purpose, to give you truth, whether it's about God, whether it's about what's going on in the country, whether it's going on in my own life, whatever, whatever I either get from God or just see. Like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts. And so I did hear a lot of different things today. And that was some of the things that I talked about, was just some of the things they were talking about. And I was like, man, this is good. In case these people don't hear these podcasts, maybe they'll hear me. And so that's what I am planning to do. And if, like I said, I never, like, no one ever speaks about Melissa, that's okay. I just want it to touch someone, even if it's one person. And they're like, man, I listened to Melissa today and she had some good ideas. I love that. That's all I care is she helped me. She made me feel better about myself. You know, I've had to have people make me feel better about myself. There's a lot of times when I felt like garbage and somebody said, "Hey, Melissa, your hair looks nice today. I like your outfit." Something. And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And then I felt better. So that's what I am hoping that I can do for men and women. Of course, I can speak to women a little bit better because I have experience. I am a woman, but God loves everyone. So if I can share God's love with everyone, that is my plan. And so I'm going to just leave today with that. And I hope that you join me tomorrow, hopefully closer to 5 o'clock if we can get the technical stuff working. And I guess that's all for today. I just want to say God bless you, God bless America, and you have a great evening.